online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV. For TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Haniman. Now, let the buzz begin! I'm the DJ killer, now I'm passing the mic off to DJ Miller. It's the silliest.
TJ is just a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
This is another one of his classic rap songs.
With Bo Burnham.
Exactly.
No,
Are you dancing?
it's a good one.
It's a throwback.
Wasn't sure what that was, dancing or...
We are here with the after show for Silicon Valley, Season 2. This is Episode 4, The Lady. Joining us, I'm your host, JB Zimmerman.
Hey, I'm Kelly McInerney. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HollyWeirdo. What?
What's going on? I'm Quinn Scillian. You can find me on Twitter at Quinn Scillian.
Hey guys, I'm Jon Manganello, and you can find me at Twitter and Instagram at Johnny Mangs.
Perfect. And don't forget to tweet at the show, #AVTV Silicon Valley. Yeah, let's just jump right in. They start sort of...
Man,
in
I
the
just wanted
interviews.
that rap song just
I
in
know.
the
Yeah,
background
Steven,
the
just
whole
have
time.
that just like on like
On a
kind of
loop.
like dull, yeah. That'd
Sorry.
be great.
It's a good ambiance. It's kind of like a
Yeah.
personal theme song.
Get us hyped up on this
Yeah.
Sunday evening, you
Did
know?
you see me
Yeah.
breaking it down over here?
I saw you breaking something.
Oh, Queen.
That wasn't even funny. I appreciate the reaction anyway.
One day you'll appreciate me.
Not today.
But yeah, speaking of appreciation, they go into
I love
Segue.
Segue. We're
It
gonna
has nothing to do
No,
with
it
the
doesn't.
interviews,
But how does this episode start? What happened again?
We
The
appreciate
interviews.
the
The
show.
interviewing.
I appreciate the show.
Speaking of appreciation,
Totally.
we appreciate this show.
No, but it was a good start to the episode. Jared and Richard are interviewing potential new hires.
Yes.
And there's all these freaks asking like, "Hey, are you dog
Yeah,
friendly?
surprising
Is there a
amount of
license for a
dog questions.
Is
I
that
was
a
like,
Silicon
what?
Valley
Yeah,
reference?
no, it's like everybody now wants to bring their dogs to work, don't they? Like
It's-
in office buildings, like if someone has a little dog, it's like running around.
That's what I thought. Maybe it was like sort of a nudge at startup work life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Open floor plan.
Right.
All that good stuff.
Well, yeah, I
Weird
guess
that they're
corporate America's gotten a lot more lax.
speaking
apparently.
of that they're still in the they're still in the house.
Yes.
I thought it was like they finally brought up like, oh, we're waiting to get our office space and stuff. Like it's weird that they're hiring new people and they're still working out of the living
Yeah.
room, right? Like totally bizarre.
But I guess they need the new people, and they don't necessarily need the new space.
Yeah, you make
Right.
a good point.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're sort of under time constraints with the January CES that they have to make a beta for. Maybe it's an alpha version, but something workable that they can show at this
Right.
trade show. Mm-hmm. So time is of the essence.
Do you know what month it is there? Is it May for them too? Like
That's a good question.
when is
I
January
don't know
for
exactly.
them? That's what I
I thought it was fall, but you're right. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's California, so you can't really tell
No.
about the seasons.
Oh, it looks pretty much the same.
No.
Yeah, sunny
it's-
day in
yeah.
and day out.
Ugh, the life we live.
I'm glad that they hired this
cyborg?
Yeah, him and Carla as well. I think she's kind of funny. She gives the guys a run for their money.
What's her name? Alice.
Wetterland.
She's awesome. I love her on Girl Code. I think
I-
she's going to be a super fun addition to this cast.
Yeah, I took UCB class with her.
Was she just as funny then?
I don't like it.
No.
It's weird because I was with Sashir Zameda too, and she wasn't a star in our class. And look at her now.
Look at her
Nice.
now.
Yeah,
Oh,
you should get her to come on the
depressing.
show.
She's just killing it over on
Hey,
SNL.
speaking of connections between Silicon Valley and UCB,
Which there are many.
Zach
They're
Woods,
all.
yeah.
They're pretty much
Yeah.
all
Thomas.
UCB alums.
Quinn and I
Which
were
is,
at
by
a
the way, the Upright Citizens Brigade for those who don't.
It's great. You
Who
should
aren't
check it out.
familiar.
we saw a show this week, Quinn and I,
Just randomly.
and guess who was in it?
Thomas Middleditch.
Middleditch.
Really?
He was doing musical improv.
Musical
at
improv, like
UCB.
he sang,
He
he
sang.
did a little
What?
dance.
Was he
I know.
good?
He was great.
He was so funny. He was so
crazy.
good, and we were just like, "Hey, we know you. We see your face all the time."
And we see Zach Woods at UCB all the time, who plays Jared.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Zach Woods, actually, he was on Conan. I think
Oh,
it was
he
a
was
week
so
ago.
funny on Conan.
Hilarious, guys! If you want to laugh, please watch that. It was insane.
doesn't?
They do sort of a
They do a kind of a-
exercise.
yeah, a little
I
improv
think it's
exercise.
from UCB. Called like "Give Me Back
Give
My
me
Son."
give me back my son, where you have to scream it in someone's face, and the first person to laugh is
yeah,
out. Is
that's
out.
while making like
Effectively, I think.
extreme
That's like
eye
love,
contact.
That's like love me, smile, baby. If
smile,
you love me.
yeah.
I love you, baby,
baby,
but I just can't smile. Did you guys ever do that?
I have not.
We
Anyway,
should talk about the show.
what show are we here from?
But yes,
Right,
Carla.
Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley.
We
It's a good
derailed
thing we have
around
good thing we have those
Carla.
TVs.
Great character. It was nice having someone kind of give Dinesh and Guilfoyle like what they give each other.
Oh yeah.
She's-
We're just
totally.
thrown off
She's
guard
just
completely.
like them. Like, she's a ball buster just like them. And I like that, too, because even though she's a girl, she's still, like, got that same personality and stuff, you know?
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no,
Even though
she's not there to be like just sit in the corner and do her work all night. She's there to kind of, you know, I don't know.
Fuck around.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which,
Yeah.
if she wasn't there to do that, then like she would be the odd man out at this point,
Right.
Because everybody's fun and silly.
And also, you know, I think D&G, Dinesh and Guilfoyle, they're kind of like a package deal. I think that they kind of need to be put in their place a little bit. You know,
Totally.
they
Yeah.
need some checks and balances over here.
Yeah, and I actually love the whole like bit where all the guys are going back and forth. Like Jared says, I want to hire a woman, and they're like, well, no, we should hire the best candidate. And he's like, yeah, definitely the best, but as long as
I
she's,
know,
she's
it
a
was
woman.
so wonderful. He just
Yeah.
has all these good intentions, but they were just coming off in like all sorts of wrong ways.
I have a feeling that, I mean, this is just speculation, but the writers of this show were getting some heat for not having enough female characters, and I think they probably had similar conversations to this in
Right.
the writers' room.
No,
You know
seriously,
what I mean?
like, but what a difference between last season where we only saw pretty much Monica,
Right.
and this season where we kind of are getting a lot more.
Yeah, the
I mean,
boss,
all over the
like,
place.
from
Yeah,
Her Monica's
Lori,
boss, is now a woman.
Now they're hiring.
I mean, he only had to
Engineers?
die to get that, but just
Yeah.
Too soon.
the main
Kelly,
guy,
too
Peter
soon.
Gray.
It's a little dark.
Sorry.
We'll go with it.
Anyway, so no, yeah, but it's definitely a more multifaceted show, I think, with these female characters. I mean,
I also think the male characters have come into their own a lot this season as well. Everyone's everyone's a little bit more fleshed out this season for sure.
Right.
you were telling us about the article you read today.
Oh yeah, I read a great article today on the Huffington Post, all about Silicon Valley and a lot of mainly about Erlich, and just kind of about what masculinity means on the show. So if you guys want to check that out, I think it's really, really interesting. Kind of about how like Erlich, you know, he wants so badly to be this kind of like macho bro kind of, you know, billionaire guy, but he just can't quite, you know, figure it out, and the kind of thing that affords for the show. So this is called Why Erlich on Silicon Valley is the Best and Worst, but Mostly the Best. And it's by Maureen Ryan on HuffPost, so you guys should take a look.
Nice. Well, yeah, he's definitely the best in my book.
Yeah.
But
funny.
Just
yeah, in
because of
this-
his rapping.
Yeah, well, that's one of many reasons.
My reason.
I'm a huge fan. But his character this episode does have a little bit of spice with Richard.
I mean, yeah, there was definitely, he's feeling a little slighted, you know, when Richard kind of takes away his choosing power. Erlich doesn't like it, you know, and he likes to be, you know, big man on campus. He wants to be in charge. He wants to be like kind of like daddy, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so when he was kind of like, he's, you know, effectively can be rendered useless when it comes to these like big company decisions, because he doesn't really have like, you know, the knowledge or like the really, really deep insight to what they're actually doing to be able to make choices on like, you know, on an informed level. So he kind of gets pushed aside a little bit, and he doesn't like it.
And also because it's like 2 against 1, it's Monica and Richard versus him.
at
a lot. Yeah.
the board meeting and also in general.
And I liked it too because you saw that Erlich has feelings. He's not just a dick all the time. You
Yeah.
know? Oh, he hurts. You know,
Yeah.
everybody hurts.
But yeah, also, I mean, it was just kind of showing the fabric of the company and just politics. I mean, they are all friends, but at the same time, like you have to think larger than just one decision. It really affects everything. I mean, he kind of took it to heart, got a little sulky in the corner. Okay.
I know, but like
Yeah.
but he cost the company $30,000. That's not chump change. That's a lot of money and a big mistake. And so
Right.
now it's starting to be like, even though we love Erlich, like all of a sudden we're like, well, he's ruining things. So
Yeah.
we're starting to lose like a little bit of our, like, you know, we maybe don't want him around as much
Right.
anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he could have handled it a little bit better, I think. Maybe
Definitely.
just trying to communicate. Obviously, he was right because the cyborg did end up doing exactly what he said,
I know,
which
same
was,
exact thing.
you know, go with another company and just using the offer as leverage.
Yeah, it's cool because he is a great character. He's obviously over the top, and I think he represents a very real thing in the world and probably in business as well, which is just like this dick guy who's too proud to ever get over his own ego. But I like how they portray him in this really over the top, almost like lampoonish type of way. Like the swag thing is so absurd. They come out with those tacky like football "I'm number one." What are those called?
The
Finger
foam hands?
foam
finger.
fingers.
Hands. Yeah, and like the ugly old Pied Piper.
Yeah,
go on it.
I know.
Yeah, with the flute.
But it is funny. I
Definitely
mean,
not.
it makes for such good humor in the show, and it's so important to have that character in his
No, definitely.
manic ways.
I'm just interested to see kind of like where his importance starts to fall for them.
Well, I think he's good leverage because he's one of those people, and I think we probably all know these people in life who aren't afraid to just like speak their mind. And I actually think there have been times throughout this series where that has gotten people far. I know it backfired at the beginning of the season.
With the VDs.
Right, but in the first episode, he got what he
VCs.
wanted. He got bigger and bigger offers. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
Right.
I know, and that's probably a bad example because, like I said, it backfired.
Especially when he's like, when you compare him directly to Richard, who's pretty much the exact opposite.
Well, Richard would never put himself out there.
Yeah.
I mean, Richard, this whole situation fell into his lap, it seems like. He was just sort of a genius playing around.
Yeah, a
on
little
his
ill-equipped
computer.
to make such big decisions.
My question, this is probably a stupid question, but it's a genuine question. Why is Erlich on the board and no one else?
He
Besides,
did it in
obviously, Richard.
this first
I remember this
season.
decision. I remember that, you know, this whole incubator thing.
Well, yeah, they all live in his house, so I think as
But is
like
that
the
the only
deal
reason?
that they
Yeah, that was
originally
one of-
made was
I
like
don't-
anything that they produce while in that house, he would get equity in, and I think
No, but the
board
the
membership?
board membership is different. There was a reason last season why it was specifically him being on the board. I remember it being like kind of a point of contention for
Right.
him.
If anybody at home
Remembers?
has something to add to
Right.
this, tweet at us at hashtag ABTV Silicon Valley.
Talk
And
about
I'll
it.
be checking my Twitter stream right now.
All right, what else?
Big head.
Big
big head.
Yeah.
Doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, well, he kind of is doing the exact same thing, which is whatever he wants. I mean, his official title is co-head dreamer.
He's kind of the worst, Big Head. He's just like the worst. Like he doesn't really have any redeemable qualities anymore.
He just doesn't know anything, I feel like.
but he's also like he's so happy doing his job where he does nothing, and just
Yeah.
like makes a lot of money and like.
Well, he's
And
been,
like he doesn't have any kind of like I don't know endeavors of any sort. That there's like a little bit.
Yeah, that storyline is definitely the weakest in my mind, just because it doesn't really connect to them as well. I mean, it's sort of a parallel story. Them like the whole Hui side. I look forward to them sort of converging those storylines.
Yeah,
well, they're
definitely.
going to use it against Pied Piper. That's why they're having the Wired photo shoot.
Right.
Because they're going to show, like, highlight him. Oh, look, he's a big guy at Hooli, but he's not. But he worked for Pied Piper.
Right.
So there's going to be a day when it's going to, like, they're going to use it in the court or whatever, probably.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here because I agree maybe he's not the most interesting character, but I think he serves an important function,
Yeah.
which is this huge corporation taking advantage of this guy who doesn't know what the hell
Yeah, but
he's
I'm having
doing.
a hard time feeling bad for him for being taken advantage of.
Oh, I don't feel bad for him
That's
at
the
all,
thing.
but I'm
is-
not sure that's
but
the point.
I know, but I just wish that we had a little bit more sympathy for him. So we were, you know, so there would be a little bit more stress involved with him meeting up with Richard. Like, if I felt worse for Big Head, I would be like, God, why? The stakes would be higher.
But why would you want him to feel bad? He's getting a job with all this money. Like they're kind of pegging him into the bad guy. You're not supposed to feel. Yeah, you're not supposed to feel bad for him.
That's what I know. I don't at all. I'm saying I wish it. I wish his I wish his conscience was really speaking up. Like I wish something. I don't know. I wish maybe he was really working on something that he can't now or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
where he's more of an innocent, you know what I mean? Whereas like right now he's not, and I wish he was.
Right. Well, he's just a very reactive character.
Yeah.
He didn't really put forth anything. It was just like, oh, this is happening. This is my office. You're my assistant.
Yeah.
Like, all this stuff is just.
He's learning like us,
him.
kind of. I feel like he's kind of our like vessel. I don't know. Well, in that storyline at least, because he doesn't know anything either. Like we don't know anything.
Yeah.
Like we found out that was his assistant the same time he did.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and they didn't even explain really what the whole XYZ thing is at all. Like,
I don't think it's really
Did
anything.
it come into play at all last episode, or was this the first we've heard of it?
The first
I think, yeah.
Okay.
This is the
Isn't
first.
that their? Oh no, Nucleus is there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. What is XYZ?
But yeah, maybe that's just more social commentary.
And also
sort of
this
about,
guy,
like, the hearsay of
Professor
it all.
Davis Bannercheck, who is the proprietor of Huli XYZ, apparently doesn't like Big
he
Head.
is not a fan.
We didn't see any actual altercation in this episode, but I assume that that's going to serve some kind of purpose later on.
Hey, do you guys notice how everybody who's in power at these companies is like a total weirdo? At first it was Peter Gregory, then it was Lori, and now we have that guy at Huli who was like, okay, I've been told to tell you that this professor guy or whatever.
Yeah, well, there's so much litigate. I feel like there's so much like fine print that goes into every single thing with these huge companies, because like there's so much money on the line that everybody has to kind of like go by the script, or else like any
totally.
misspeak could cost you like. So I think that's why everybody is so calculated with the way they go about everything.
But I think it's poking fun at the idea that Silicon Valley is run by these really like genius people who can't have surface level conversations or just like human level conversations.
Well, I mean, they're so brilliant technologically, but at the same time, like they don't really have the social skills.
Yeah, and that's why we love Monica, because she gives us the interpersonal relationship kind of thing that we kind of crave. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna get together. You think, Quinn?
I don't know. I decided I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to love Monica for who she is.
Quinn was shipping Monica and Richard.
Everybody is. That's
Shipping
not just
is
me.
yeah.
We've talked about this. Whatever.
Are you? Do you want that to happen?
But I'm not. I'm enjoying all of the show without any.
You're not holding your breath for it.
No, I mean, it's going to happen probably eventually. I think they've basically set that up, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be weird if it didn't happen.
But I think that the show doesn't romance is not such a big deal to the story.
I agree.
Yeah.
So we don't need it.
But I agree with that, but I don't think that this show would just have it be a romance, because it would, by its own nature, be complicated, because we're dealing with a multi-million-dollar company.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There's a little bit of
I feel like they're too
mixing
stressed
business
out.
and pleasure kind of situation.
Yeah,
And
they're
I
too
agree.
stressed. There's not enough time for romance.
But
you know?
I think maybe they should open it up for that. It gets
Well, yeah,
a little heavy-handed.
It's Mike
after a
Judge.
while.
It's not gonna be lovey-dovey.
But
No,
I agree.
yeah, but exactly.
I'm not
Lovey.
asking for lovey-dovey.
Yeah.
It will never be lovey-dovey.
Yeah.
But also, like,
But yeah, I think having like some kind of like weird romantic thing in this show would take away from kind of like what it is.
Right.
I don't think. I mean, eventually something's gonna happen where it's gonna make a lot of sense, but I'm not seeing that right
It's
now.
primarily like male demographic that watches the show because it's Mike Judge. So I don't think they're gonna push any romance. It will happen, but I don't think it's gonna. Not this season. Maybe hints of it, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
We'll see.
we'll see. What do
Well,
you
yeah,
guys
I mean,
think?
as of right now, I feel like there's a pretty good balance with all the characters. I mean, we were talking about Erlich and his strengths, obviously not on the technical end, but very much so in the negotiations. He's willing to literally drop trow in the middle of a meeting. For the good of the company.
Can we talk a little bit more about Carla? I know we touched on her, but I did want to bring up the point that they thought, G&D, if you will, thought she was making more money than them, and that really bothered them. And I just think it's
It's so tongue in cheek, isn't
Right.
it? About
Well, wouldn't it bother you, kind of, if you started with them? Yeah.
Oh my God.
No,
yeah.
that's why it's funny, because it's justified. Them getting upset about her. I mean, like, the amount of money that she was implying that she was making sounded like crazy. So obviously it was justified, but then it's like that kind of surface, like underneath the surface of them being like, oh no, a woman's making more money than us. And so they were kind of like trying to kind of play a little bit.
That's fun, yeah.
Well, I like how she came out just guns blazing, like didn't even miss a beat and was all over it.
I know,
like,
she seemed, I mean, like, it seems like her and, D&G have gone back a little way, so she kind of understands them. She knows how they work. She's like, I'm not going to take any shit from these guys.
Well, and also, like, we needed that character. I mean, I'm sorry, I hate to go back to this, but I do think it's really important. If we're going to put a major female character in this show, a show that's been hurting for more women, she needs to be able to hold court with these guys.
Yeah.
And I think
and be maybe even like a step ahead, you know?
That article we were talking about, Quinn just read us a passage from it, and the author of that article was suggesting that in the first season, women served more as props, and now they're serving as key characters. Yeah. And I think Carla is another example of that.
And interesting, in the same article, they were like, in the first season, the women were just kind of props, or just kind of, I don't know, weird, whatever. And now the kind of problem is Jin-Yang? Jin-Yang, yeah.
Burning trash.
That Jin-Yang is just kind of becoming like this like sad Asian stereotype. Yeah. That's...
and speaking of him and Erlich, when they went to the
Sean
Parker's.
Yeah, the charity ball.
That was so funny. He couldn't get in. They were like, oh, this is going to be $25,000. He's like, no, not going to happen.
I know. Also, he wants so badly to be a part of this life, and he just isn't. It's like so depressing. And it's like starting to really wear on him, especially now that like he's involved with Pied Piper, which is like a company that has so much like name power right now, and he still isn't like kind of like winning. It's like driving him absolutely crazy.
It also shows though kind of how much of a dick. Don't forget that Russ Haniman is like, he's like, here, have these tickets. Didn't tell you that I didn't pay for them or anything.
Yeah. Oh, we also got some insight to Russ Hanneman's life.
Exactly. Yeah.
Also, he stole the cyborg from them because of.
Yeah. How could he poach his own?
I mean, cutthroat.
Yeah.
He is just a douche.
Yep.
Straight up.
He makes Erlich look like a little baby, He looks like a good guy.
He is rendering Erlich down to like this insecure like little kid. Whenever he's around, Erlich like has to like prove himself.
You know what I was saying to Quinn the other day? Quinn and I spend a lot of time together, and I was saying to her, I like this show. I do. I love this show. But it was up until a couple weeks ago, I thought it was following a similar formula. They set up this huge problem, they solve it, and immediately there's another huge problem. And of course, that's how drama, that's how conflict in TV and movies works. But for some reason in this show, it felt a little more basic than I would have liked. And what I'm enjoying about the past two episodes is that there's not just one guy against another. There's inner turmoil. There's problems within the system that I think are really interesting and delicious, and I think are going to create a lot of drama. So, for example, help me with the name.
Russ?
Gavin Belson.
Russ. Yeah. Russ sort of biting off the hand that feeds him, like doing these things that are problematic within his own companies is fun and interesting to watch.
I know.
Yeah. Well, he's so self-centered and so narcissistic. It's crazy. I mean, he can't even be a real parent to his son. Like, that's why the name of this episode is The Lady, which is the app he uses to
also in reference, I'm sure, to Carla, the character of Carla.
Yeah. Also, he calls his girlfriend stupid right as
like,
she's holding her,
next to her,
like hugging her.
Yeah.
Because she can't understand him. He's like, she's so dumb.
But not that it's even that bad of a thing. He was like, oh, like, isn't this great? She's an idiot. I've got this dumb girl.
Yeah,
I know. It's so scary to watch him like almost like destroy this company. Like, I don't know. It's like why would you spend $30,000 on merch that is out of date? Like what? Like why? I don't understand his like.
Well, for him, he was
to that.
plugging it back into one of his other companies.
Exactly.
He gains from it. Like
he said, I'll send it to my people who do this.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But yeah, total douche move. Like he doesn't really care about anyone but himself.
But all he cares about is getting a lot of money at once. Like he doesn't care about like they want to continue to gain. That's why he hasn't really gained much money in like 20 years.
Right.
Because he just wants to make a lot at once and then that's it. You know,
He did get
He's
into
not-
the E3 Comic Club, so.
Yeah, he's not proper. He's not a good businessman.
I do want to talk a little bit more because I think we sort of grazed over it. The lady. I mean, the name of the episode, like you
Right.
pointed out, and as you brought up, is obviously a huge part of this episode. Not only are we dealing with the lady, this like Siri-esque like omnipotent voice
Right.
that Russ has installed into his house to raise his child for him, which is hysterical. But also just they were on the hunt for a woman in this
I
episode.
just pointed that out about 3 minutes ago.
Wake up.
Anyway, Queen,
Beat
you're
you to it.
so smart.
Sorry, Johnny.
Wait. Well, I wasn't listening.
I know. I said it actually under my breath. It's not your fault that went over.
This lady. Oh.
I know.
So cool. Great. Any other points we got to bring up?
What else happened? Anything else? Oh, never mind. Well, I was gonna say something, and then I remembered that we didn't hire the cyborg. So that's
I really wanted some
That's
Faye
pointless.
yogurt after.
True. That
By the way,
Yeah.
how #relatable was that? Does anybody else eat that yogurt?
Not with the jam thing, but I'm really happy that I was pronouncing it right this whole time.
Well, it says it phonetically.
I know, but
on
I was
there.
like, is
I
it
just like-
Faye?
I just
Or Faye.
will do anything to not pronounce it. Like I'll,
Yeah,
I'll
just-
like
it's just
I'll
my
go,
Greek
and
yogurt.
it was it's not Chobani, the other one. Like
Just
I'm just
no,
gonna,
yeah.
just always gonna figure out a different way.
No, I can't eat yogurt. I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh, that's terrible.
All right.
Ice
well,
cream.
do you guys want to talk about predictions?
Yeah.
I guess we don't have a choice.
Now, your
Sorry.
AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
I'm getting abducted.
Well, yeah, first off, I think that the Hooli storyline has to affect them. Like, it was happening sort of in the background this episode. Johnny, like you were saying, you know, there are a lot of villains this season. You know, it's not just Gavin Belson. We also have Russ. You know, we have the inner turmoil within the company. We kind of solved the new people coming in. I mean, maybe they're going to keep doing interviews, but I think they'll really refocus into bringing Big Head back. Like, hopefully we'll get some scenes with him and Richard.
Do you guys
Yeah.
think we're gonna? How soon do you guys think we're gonna see Richard Big Head tete-a-tete?
Hopefully next episode.
Next episode?
I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be next one. I feel like they're kind of
They're
stretching it
savoring
out.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe
I
the
don't
one
know.
after.
Well, yeah, I think
I
we're
want it
only
to happen.
halfway
I want it
through.
to happen literally next week, but I'm sure we're gonna have to wait a little while.
Yeah.
That's how they get you.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it 8 episodes?
10.
Oh,
Is
10?
it? Okay, so we're almost halfway.
Yeah, I think it's going to go. I was figuring it out today. I think it's going to go until probably mid-June, if my math is correct.
Which it almost certainly is.
It's never correct.
Does anybody else have any fun predictions?
There's gonna be more problems with Russ.
I was gonna say like a showdown of some sort.
Oh, totally.
They
That's
need-
a ticking time.
They're gonna
Yeah.
like break the contract or something eventually because they're not gonna get success with this dude. You know, he's just fucking.
Yeah,
them
I can't
over.
believe he took the person that they discussed in the board meeting as like hiring.
He
That's
didn't
so
even say
ridiculous.
that much about him. You know, in the
Right.
in the board meeting, he didn't like really praise the cyborg. Just I don't know.
Yeah,
it was
that's
weird.
true.
Although it was nice though, a couple things in the board meeting that like I don't know, a couple like the technologically sounding things that they all kind of agreed on it. So I was like, okay, so at least he's like not like a total brat. Like he can actually like communicate sometimes.
I feel like
Totally.
he just says yes though, because he's like, I don't know this stuff. Yeah.
Good,
Yeah,
then
so I'm
good.
on board.
I'm
Yeah.
on board. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I have any fun predictions, but I will say I'm really loving how tongue-in-cheek the humor has grown into and become more of. But let me try to remake that sentence.
I was on board. I was totally there with you.
Thank you. I think it's a pretty fun, but also at times harsh criticism of corporate America.
But that's why I think it's so great is because it is like it's kind of like this is not gonna make sense, but it's like overt in its subtlety. Even though that's the exact opposite, but do you know what I mean? Does that make sense
I know
at all?
what you mean. Go ahead.
go
Give us a little
on.
more.
Like you know, it'll make a parallel. It'll draw a parallel, and it'll hit it really really hard, but in like a tongue-in-cheek way. So it's
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. No, I think you're
So
absolutely right.
they're really smooth about it.
like
Yeah.
the lady, the Siri type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was so much, right? Like that was a ridiculous thing. But also, it's like it was a small moment. Is that what
I think
you're
I'm
saying?
hearing the music. Does
Yep,
that mean
you
that we're
are.
done?
We
Thank
are.
you,
Yeah.
my mom. I'd like to thank the Academy. I know I'm forgetting someone.
No, you gotta get off. You gotta get off.
Well, where can the guys?
That was us
find
doing
you?
the Oscars, by the way.
Guys, thanks for watching us tonight. Again, my name's Johnny Mangs. I mean, that's not my name. Sorry, Mom. You gave me a better name than that. My name's Jon Manganello, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Johnny Mangs.
And my name is Quinn Scillian. You can find me on Twitter at Quinn Scillian. You can find me on Instagram at Quinstagram, and you can find me on Vine at the Quinn B.
Hey, I'm Kelly McInerney, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at HollyWeirdo.
Nice. I'm JB Zimmerman. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at JB_Zimmerman. And don't forget to rate and review the show. Comment
Like
on YouTube.
us.
5 stars, thumbs up.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Please
Later.
like us.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.